Yeah, guys, we've got Aaron Weber coming on today. So, man, buckle up.
Dude, I'm excited, man. I've been waiting to meet him, so I think it's going to be a good episode. And happy you guys are tuning in. And let's cut to the intro.
Let's do it.
Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
I'd like to introduce myself. I don't believe that we have ever met. I think that we could hit it off so well. Let me paint a picture, you and me together. I'd like to introduce myself.
All right, well, welcome back, family. Today we have Aaron Weber with us, like we talked about in the intro. And man, we're excited to have you on the podcast today.
Dude, thank y'all for having me. It's been a long time coming, so I appreciate it. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. When I think about like comedians that I've spent the most amount of money on tickets for, and maybe you, like anytime you're in the Chattanooga area or Nashville, I try to come see you. And man, just enjoy what you're doing out there. Love your comedy, man.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. You'll get sick of me soon. I have to. I think so.
But dude, I was just telling you a couple minutes ago that like one thing I'm amazed by is just your weight loss and your fitness journey. And I know you do a lot with Nate Bargatze, and one thing I noticed with both of you guys is the bigger your career gets is like the better looking you get, man. Like it's one of those things you just focus and step it up, man. So,
Well, I appreciate it. I was about 340 at my biggest in 2020, and then I'm down to, man, I've probably dropped 70 pounds since
Dude,
then.
wow.
man, that's
So
incredible.
still work to do, but I'm not the biggest I've been right now, which is
Right,
a
right,
good feeling.
right.
You know,
What have you been doing on your weight loss journey? Just working
it was
out?
intermittent fasting was what did it. That was just the easiest. It was so simple. Like
Yeah.
I told people when they asked me, I go, losing weight is it's not complicated. At least for me, it was not complicated. I needed to eat less. So
Right.
if I just if I set up some kind of structure in my life and then some kind of routine around it,
Yeah.
that's what I did. I ate from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. and that was it. And then I just drank water and coffee the rest of the day, Diet Coke, and that
Right.
was it. And I did that really strictly for 4 or 5 months and lost all that weight. And then
Wow.
Oh, wow.
slowly like tapered off how serious I take. I actually just started doing that again. So it's like it definitely works for losing weight quickly. Jury's out if it's great for long term
Right.
Right.
lifestyle changes and things, but it works with me and in the schedule that I have right now. And it's just like, yeah, dude, it just stops me from being an idiot. Like
Right.
Yeah.
I get these when I'm on the road, it's real easy to eat like garbage on the road. And then you get to the comedy club and there's candy in the green room and there's free drinks and whatever else. So that can just add up. And if I just have something set up where I can't have it right now, even if
Right.
it's an arbitrary line that I've drawn in the sand, that's what was easy for me. So I'm
That's
trying
great.
to get back into it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a tight window. Like I do intermittent fasting a good bit, and I keep like an 11 to 7. So I've never thought about like a 12 to 4. So that's impressive.
Well, thanks, man. Well, I get after it in those 4 hours. I'll say that.
I was about to say, I think if I did like a short window, I'd probably be eating way more than I normally
it's
would.
it's a literal 4 hours of eating, right?
Yeah, straight 4 hours.
No, but I mean, yeah, that's one of the things I was thinking too. Just the challenges of a lot of your shows ending late at night, and then
Yeah.
I'm sure afterward everybody wants to go get something to eat or hang out, and
Always.
I can imagine that being tough. So that's a lot of discipline,
Yeah,
man.
there's a social aspect of it too, to be comfortable not eating when everybody else is eating,
Right.
Right.
and not because you want to be like, yeah, I'll do it. But then
Right.
it's like nobody cares if I'm eating or not. I can just sit there and have a coffee and talk, and nobody cares.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was like
You
that
just-
was another weird hurdle to get over too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got to avoid staring with judgment. You can't.
Yeah, sure.
Got to be careful of that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be my biggest thing. Like peer pressure's never really worked on me except for food. I'll be like doing good in a calorie deficit. Someone comes over here, here's a pizza. Well, yeah, we should be celebrating. I should eat a
Yeah,
slice.
exactly. Yeah, you could turn anything to a celebration in your head if you think about it. You
Right.
go, well, it is Yom Kippur. Let's go ahead
Right.
and
It's
eat.
Rosh Hashanah. It's
Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
Thursday at 2 p.m. Why am I not
Uh-huh.
eating French fries?
Right.
Yeah. And I wonder if like people not from the South have that same problem because I feel like so much of our social aspect is based around food.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in the South. There's a lot like among like Italians in New York.
Hmm.
It's all these cultures have different relationships with food,
Right.
and that's a hard part of it is like rewiring a lot of that in your own head. At least that's how it was for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, as far as like working out or hiking, I know you're big into hiking. Like I see your posts a lot about
Mhm.
just about every city you go to. It seems like you find a good place to hike.
Trying to. Yeah. I'm getting to go a lot of cool places, and it just feels like a bit of a shame to just stay inside and
Right.
Yeah.
not do something, go out and see some of these places. So yeah, and it's just like the dieting. I've kind of go in and out of waves of taking it seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, once a week I try to do like a 5 to 7 mile hike
Oh, that's
somewhere.
awesome.
Nothing crazy. I'm not doing these guys that do 30 miles and stuff.
Right.
I'm just
Right.
like,
Right.
I want to get there in my car and I want to leave in my car that day.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, like 5 to 7 miles, sometimes 10 miles or something, depending on if it's a good spot or not. But
Yeah.
there's places everywhere. Like a lot of these, some states are better than others, but there's
Mhm.
always somewhere worth walking around, no matter where you are, it seems.
Right.
So that's just a fun way to kill a day too.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Is that how you kind of like develop your tour dates and locations, like based on hiking trips and places to walk, or is it just like
No,
stay?
yeah. So I'm not at the level of my career where I can reverse engineer it like that. I'm still there are the high level guys will go, all right, build my schedule around, you know, uh this NFL team schedule.
Mhm.
Right.
And they just pick and choose where they go. I'm doing it the other way. I go, let's find out where they'll have me, and then I'll find
Then
things to
Right.
do around those dates. So God willing, it'll get to that point where I can do it like that.
That sounds kind of like Austin's dating life. Like,
it
just
really
just
does.
whoever will give him a shot.
There you go.
And then it's like, hey, you want to go take a walk? That's what I can afford. We can go to the mall, hit up a
Yeah,
shop,
yeah.
something like that.
Right.
Yeah, we were joking a few weeks ago. Mike James was on, and he was giving Austin some dating advice and everything, and because Brian said he'd be Austin's wingman, so Brian Bates offered that.
Well, that's gonna really limit where you can go to meet women.
Right. Like a
Yeah, I
Belk
don't
about
know. I
4
don't know if I'd
p.m.
advise, dude. I don't think that's a good idea.
The
You trying to wait till
applications
you're
are out
50 to
there.
get married?
Yeah. Not looking great. No. Still looking for that and a mentor. So, if you're available, I'll send an application out to you. But yeah.
But man, so how did you get into comedy? Like that's one of the things that I love to ask when we have comedians on here. It's just like what brought you to this place?
Well, I've always was a fan of stand-up comedy. I used to like watching it. And then you realize there's no barrier to entry.
Mhm.
It's just there are open mics in most cities in America at least once a week or something. And you show up, write your name down, and you go up, and then you're on stage doing comedy. Like it's really that easy. So once I realized that, I was like, oh, I can just start doing this. So I did a little bit in college. It was like a student class. It was just not even a class. It was just like a group. We did shows.
Mhm.
It wasn't real comedy. It was kind of fake. Because it was just performing for other students and stuff. So I don't really say I started until I moved back to Nashville after school and started doing open mics then. That's when it felt like, all right, now I'm performing for strangers in these weird dive bars and all this stuff. So
Right.
um started doing that in May of 2015, and then I went full time. I quit my day job in September of 2019, so it was a little over 4 years before I was full time. So that's actually, I mean, that's a, I feel like that's quicker than a lot
Yeah.
of guys get to do it. So I was pretty happy. Now it was tough sledding at first because that was right before COVID.
Right.
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 Like I went full time, and then 5 or 6 months later, the world shut down. So I was
Right.
like, oh no, maybe I made a mistake. But
So, like, potentially the worst time somebody could do it, right?
yeah, yeah. Well, thankfully we were down here. We were in the South. Like if I were in New York or LA,
Right.
it would have been a much different story. I was actually
Right.
only really out of work for like a month and a half.
Oh, that's not
Oh,
bad.
wow. Yeah.
And then places started opening back up, reduced capacity. I was doing
Mhm.
some different shows and things. So yeah, I mean, this year marks 10 years since I
Man, that's awesome.
started those open mics in Nashville. So that's pretty much all I've been doing for the last 10 years.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's really impressive to me is how quick you got to doing it full time, like you were saying, because a lot of guys we've had on here were doing it 10 years before they made that leap.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I got pretty lucky. Nashville's a great place to start. Like the club will really invest in you if they think that you're working hard, and uh, they'll help you out pretty early. And then I was just in the right place at the right time. A lot of
Yeah.
this, like I had a lot of people that saw me in Nashville that would take me on the road and help me out in all these different ways. So yeah, I was very lucky to get to do that early.
Now, did you move to Nashville for the comedy, or were you already there?
I moved here during high school with my family.
Okay.
I'm the only one still here, but yeah, I was just coming back to live in my parents' basement. It was not a choice based on the comedy scene, but I'm very lucky that the scene is what it is
right.
here,
Yeah.
because I probably would have ended up moving here if I was somewhere else.
And I feel like there's so many just incredible clean comedians too in Nashville. Like, when I'm looking at different cities and everything, I think that Nashville's got, clean and not clean comedians that are
Hmm.
great. But like, I think Nashville's clean comedy is phenomenal, like compared to other places.
Yeah, yeah, we do have a good group. Like, and it all trickles down from Nate. Like it
Hmm.
all, the culture just becomes who filters down from whoever the top guy is.
Right,
So
right.
even a lot of the guys that I think are can be very funny clean, like guys that I brought on the road with me, they're not necessarily that way when they're
Hmm.
doing their own show.
Right,
But
right.
I think we got a lot of because of Nate and Dusty and even even Kathleen Madigan and Henry Cho and all these guys that are around Nashville. I think comics do understand the benefit of being able to work clean. So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
do get a good group of guys who can do that. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of funny because I've seen a few people that have opened for either you or other people and opened doing it clean, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go check out their show, and I
Right.
was in for a shock. So,
Yeah, yeah. Much different. A lot of these.
right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, which I kind of I like, and that's a testament to those guys,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
is how they can adjust based on what they need to do.
oh, absolutely.
But yeah, dude, people can be pretty different.
Right,
It's like when your parents are home and when they're away on vacation.
right.
Right.
That's what it that's what it feels like. I
And
always
Marcus,
just I what I liked was I could, like, my act, I felt like no matter where, even like a church or something, I would just do my normal act, and that felt good
Mhm.
to go.
yeah.
I'm just gonna do. I don't really have to change much. There might be a couple jokes I don't do just because they play a little different
Right,
in a
Right.
church, but I'm not like, I don't have to go up there with one hand behind my back, which feels kind of nice.
True. Depending on the church, though, there's some wild non-denominational churches out there. You could probably push the envelope just a little bit.
right.
Oh yeah, yeah, and you'd feel
Just
that out while you're on stage.
Yeah,
yeah.
You'd feel it out.
So that would be me. Mark is much more the PG side of this. relationship. I'm more the PG-13. So I always tend to like see how close to the line I can get with like not
Good.
tip, maybe a
Yeah,
tip.
that's
Maybe
that's the game of comedy right there. Is
Right.
finding out what you can get away with.
Yeah, so I get picked on all the time because, like, I won't even watch a movie with cussing in it or anything, and, we have
Wow.
this app, like the Enjoy app that, like, filters
Yeah.
everything out, and, so I get made fun of a lot for that because I was also in the Army and everything, so people would expect, like, me to, kinda have to
Yeah.
censor myself,
So
but
you've heard some things in the army.
yeah, yeah, a thing or two, and then
Right.
but, I've shared this story on here before, but it's a pretty funny story. Like, there was one point in my life when I was, man, I was just like realizing I'm not fitting in with a lot of my army guys at that point. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start cussing. And I'm, like 23, 22, something like this at the time.
That's a good
Never
time to
really
start.
in
Yeah.
my life. Yeah, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
tough starting point. And so I start cussing for like 2 weeks. But every time I did, I sounded like Mickey Mouse. And it just felt like, the most awkward thing. And when I
Right.
say I started cussing a lot, it might be like 5 words in a day. It wasn't like I was
Yeah.
cussing
Yeah.
something out or anything. But it felt so awkward to me.
But
So
you're
then I was like,
forcing it.
right, right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop cussing. Today's my last day doing it. And then later on that day, I ended up getting shot. And at that point, I really wanted to cuss, and I was like, but I can't because I just quit. So I yelled out Jiminy Crickets.
You got shot and you yelled out Jiminy Crickets.
I did. So
Okay.
so yeah, it has been a running joke for many years that was my response to
Oh,
being
that's
hit.
so
So
funny, dude.
I'm
That's
saying you're a
so
better person
funny.
than most people, Mark, because I would not
Jiminy
have said
Crickets.
Jimmy.
but
That's
that's the
so
one time I
funny.
felt like I probably could have done it right. So
I
that's
feel
one.
like I feel like God would have let you get one in right then.
Right.
You know,
He would have given me a pass on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
one of my favorite verses were "Sin abounds, grace abounds, and much more." I think you can, let it slip. Just a couple. It's okay. You're gonna be
Jiminy
covered. It's
Crickets.
all right. New Testament world. We live in the New
Right.
Testament. But one thing I've learned, I'm not from Tennessee originally, but live in Tennessee now. But one thing I've learned about Nashville is it really is a hub for entertainment, but not just music wise. Like I didn't realize the comedy scene, how big it is, and even the acting scene and different things like that. Um, and correct me if I'm wrong. Did I read that you performed on the Grand Ole Opry? Correct, doing a comedy
Yeah, so
show.
so I'm I
Yeah,
guess technically a regular there. There's a few of us we get
yeah,
to perform there every now and then.
yeah. And
So
are
that's
you the?
I was the youngest to ever
Yeah,
do it. When I think it was 2019 that I made my debut. So I
yeah,
was 20, maybe 28. I don't know. I was the youngest at the time. I remember it was Dusty when Dusty Slay made his debut. He was the youngest,
yeah.
and then John Christ made his debut not long after that, and then and he was the youngest then, and then I took it from John. And so I'm still waiting on. There are a few people I have in my crosshairs that I think are going to break that record, but
Right.
nobody has yet. So I'm technically the youngest stand-up comic to ever perform there.
Dude, that's an awesome
Yeah.
accomplishment, man.
Thanks,
Like
man.
the Opry
It's
is
pretty cool. I mean, I've done very minimal research to make sure that's true,
Right.
but
right. Well, same.
it's fun to say. It is fun to tell people.
I think I read that once on Facebook. So if it's on Facebook, it's all
It's all
true.
real.
See, yeah, I
Wikipedia.
probably wrote it, but yeah, you see, it's
Right.
like,
I think AI said so on Google. So it's all good.
yeah,
Well-
yeah. Oh, if AI says it, that's the truth.
Yeah.
One of the shows I went to of yours, you had a phenomenal joke about Carhartt, and just the sizing of Carhartt and your love for what they do for us, and and I talked to see evidence.
I'm wearing it right now. Yeah.
So I talked to some guys after the show, and they were going out to buy Carhartt just because of that. So I think they need to work out some kind of sponsorship deal with you because I think that joke is really getting people in some Carhartt gear.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate it. We had a little conversation with Carhartt after that bit went viral. Nothing ever came of it, but they're aware of it and they reached out. And I thought I'm gonna be the next Carhartt guy. I'm gonna be like the Marlboro man, but Carhartt. And nothing ever came of it. But yeah, I've got a few. The brand who's been the most receptive was I had a bit in my special that came out this year about Tums, just how much I liked Tums.
Right.
And Tums sent me a really nice note, and they sent me a huge container of all different flavors of Tums. They sent me like a baby blanket for our baby with all the
Right.
Tums stuff. They've
That's
been the most
awesome.
receptive. So I'm trying to do that. I'm just going to write my whole act just about brands that I like.
Right, just different brand.
Right.
And then hopefully one will pick me up and just send me a bunch of stuff. That's the goal.
Hey, that's no joke on Tums though. When I was a kid, my dad wouldn't buy us candy, but he would get me Tums or Ludens, like the little Ludens cough drops. And those were my favorite candies. So like I go to elementary school and they're like, "Hey, what's your favorite candy?" And kids are saying like Snickers or Hershey's or whatever. I'm like, "Man, those Tums hit different."
I love that pink Tums flavor.
Right.
Yeah, and they've gotten, since you were a kid, they've gotten unbelievable, some of the
Oh
things
yeah.
they're doing. Yeah, I got a
Yeah,
sampler pack. They sent me a sampler pack of the strawberries and cream. You got to
oh
check
wow.
those out. I got the inside scoop.
I'm gonna write that
Strawberries and
down.
cream. Go check it out.
I don't know the last time I had a Tums, but I'm about to check out
Right.
CVS. Give me a
Like
strawberry
sometimes
cream.
I wish I had more stomach issues just so I could eat more Tums and
Well,
have
here's
an
the thing, dude.
excuse.
You can just eat them.
Like a Tic Tac or something.
That's
Right.
right. That's right.
Popping it.
Well, one of the things, I'm pumped to have you on here, man, just because like you're incredible and love your comedy. Love listening to you on Nate Land. But also, I know that you love baseball, and Austin isn't into baseball. And I try to explain to him it's because it's a smart person sport. But but the thing is, we haven't had a guest on here that was into baseball. But I also not only am I into baseball, but like have a pretty good collection of like memorabilia and autographs and cards and stuff. So I want
That's
to kind of
great.
talk to you on some of that stuff today too.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, I'll show you a couple kind of cool things I brought.
I wanna see
So
it.
so right here is
Whoa.
actually a Hall of Fame plate that they would give out at the Hall of Fame inductee banquets. And this is when Bob Gibson and Johnny Mize went in, and both of them
Wow.
had signed it. So
Oh,
it's a
that's
pewter plate.
amazing, dude.
Yeah, it's actually heavy. So I've got a couple of the plates, but those are the ones with the best players on them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How do you
then-
have these do you have these displayed in your house?
No, they're in boxes.
Okay.
like I have so many of them. My wife's like, yeah, no, like we're gonna
Yeah.
box them up.
Yeah.
And this is a really cool thing because I'm a huge Satchel Paige fan.
Oh, amazing.
What happened was the Braves signed him for 3 days because he needed to get signed so he can get major league pension.
Right.
So this is also when Hank Aaron was on the team and everything. And this is the only
So he's like
scorebook.
50. He's like 50 at this point, right?
Right, right. So this is the only scorebook he's actually in. So
I love that old school Braves.
oh yeah, yeah.
They haven't used that graphic in a while, dude.
No.
No. You get canceled if you use that.
exactly.
Yeah, that's not working these
And
days.
that's one of the ones, even hardcore whatever people will be like, okay, that was a bit too much. Yeah,
Right,
let's maybe.
And then I have like a distant cousin who actually played in the big leagues. So I found one of his cards. His name's
Whoa.
Wait Hoyt, and it's graded 1. So it's the worst grading I think you can get.
How old's the card though?
It's 1933.
Yeah, well, dude, well, PSA 1 from the 1930s is amazing. Just to have
Right.
something authenticated from that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that old. It's almost 100 years old, man.
Right. Right. And the
That's
last
crazy.
thing I brought, I got a really cool story for this. So I'm
Okay.
at the National Sports Card Show back when it was in Atlanta, and I'm like 13 years old. So we're talking 30 years ago. And Muhammad Ali was coming to sign. but the tickets even at that time were like $100, and I'm like, dude, there's no way I can afford that. So they had some black curtains up around where, all the autograph guests were walking behind and everything. And I knew the time he was coming, and I was like, oh man, I bet you that's him, because I saw some feet, and I'm like, oh, and the feet weren't moving too good at that time. So
Yeah.
and then I saw some feet that were moving better. I'm like, oh, that's his security or people that help stabilize him, because he was already pretty far in his sickness.
Right.
And so I just crawled under the curtain, and it was like him, and I was like, oh, Mr. Ali, and I gave him a big hug, and he hugged me back. And then
Wow.
the security's like trying to pull me off and get me away, and he's like, no, no, no. So he signed this glove for me. So it's got him and a couple other boxing Hall of Famers, but like
Whoa.
it's him and Ernie Shavers, and I forgot the other one, Ken Norton. So they
Yeah,
were all
that is
that.
awesome, dude.
Yeah, and so I've had that since I was like 13. So
Now
that's
that you could display that in the house.
that one's displayed.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's under my son's Legos. So he's got a couple of like Lego contraptions that are on top.
I mean, that's one of the top, maybe that's a top 3 biggest athlete ever.
Yeah, right.
And you have his autograph and you hugged him. If he punched you in the face, would you say Jiminy Crickets?
Oh, I would love saying Jiminy Crickets to get a punch in the face from him.
Probably say thank you instead. Like, thank you, sir. Thank you.
I mean, still to the day he passed, I'm sure he could knock me out. Like, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. Even everybody was making fun of Mike Tyson for that last fight he did on Netflix. Right. And I was like, dude, any of us would have been destroyed by him in there.
Oh, absolutely. And there were a couple times. So be honest with me. Do you think the fight was rigged?
I don't think the fight itself was rigged, but it was definitely set up and they knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
It to me, it was like once the fight started, I could not believe that at one point I thought this might be a fight. I go, well, this is like, once you see it, you go, well, yeah, obviously this is how it's going to go. This guy's old, like age matters.
Right.
So I don't know if the fight was rigged, but once it happened, you're like, oh yeah, like this makes perfect sense that it went like this.
Right. No, I felt that too, but there were a couple points in the fight where just Paul wasn't blocking, and Tyson would have had a great shot on his face, and Tyson even like moved his hand up like that, it looked like. So I don't know if I've been listening to Dusty a little too much and got a conspiracy theory going, but it's like it looked like he could have, could have got
nothing would surprise me at this point.
Right.
So if I found out that it was rigged like that, it wouldn't even affect the way I think about the world, because I just go, yeah, I'm sure this does happen. But I like to think it was just a young man who's actually a good boxer beating up a senior citizen. That's what I like to think it is. Yeah.
Man, that sounds terrible when you think about it.
That's the America I want to see right there.
Exactly.
That's what.
No, so what about you? Like what are some of your favorite pieces of your collection?
Well, I've got a few things displayed back here. I have nothing crazy. Like it's an interesting thing. People ask me like, what's your most valuable thing or anything like that. And I don't have any like big ticket items. I've got a lot of brand. Like I have this little compartment right here in this shelf behind me is all stuff from a major league player named Dimitri Young, who's
Dimitri Young.
He's from Montgomery, Alabama, and he played at the same like rec league ballpark that I played at.
Okay.
Growing up. So I have a bunch of cards from him. I have one of these bats over here is autographed by him. It was just like, I don't know. None of that is worth anything really.
Right.
Like if I were to sell all this stuff, none of it's worth
a lot. But couldn't pay for a tank of gas, but it still means a lot.
Yeah, they're just fun stuff to have. So I have a couple. Like I got a podcast listener just gave me like a Mike Trout autograph, which is pretty awesome. But the stuff that I've accrued on my own is just stuff like that, random, like a player that I like. If I like funny names, You know,
Right.
I like having, they're just fun stuff for me to display. But like,
Yeah, they're
yeah, like a Muhammad Ali autograph boxing glove is
mhm.
so cool. I don't have anything on that level.
Yeah, I got a picture of me with him. I didn't bring it, but I'm
Mhm.
wearing like the old Nike chain, the Nike gold chain and everything as like a 13-year-old. So probably
That
I might have had frosted tips at the time. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's just cool. Even, I mean, the autograph thing is awesome, but then
Mhm.
the story is
Oh yeah,
the real treasure from that. Like you get to tell your kids about that too. It's
right.
like, I
So
mean,
yeah,
dude, that's like that's like hugging and meeting Babe Ruth,
oh yeah,
you know? So that's the cool part of it. And the sports stuff, it just makes you feel like a kid again,
right.
you know?
Yeah, the only collection thing that I'm working on, and I'm about 3 baseballs away, is, getting everybody from the '95 World Series Braves team,
Wow.
on the '95 World Series balls. So I have about,
Wow.
5 of the extra balls unsigned still, so,
Who are you missing?
Steve Avery,
Okay.
uh no, I got Mike Devereaux recently,
Nice.
um, oh goodness,
So
Leo Mazzoni.
you got all the big ones
Oh,
already.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I've got pretty much
You got,
everybody that
in
everybody really
theory, what
heard.
should be the most difficult ones you've already
Right,
got.
right, right. And these guys that would probably sign it for me for $5 or something,
Yeah, sure.
like
Sure. Or if you just told them, I'm this close to
right.
getting the whole team, they'd do it for free
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
So those are the only ones I still
Mhm.
have left, but, that's kind of the thing that I'm wanting to finish for my kids.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, and then yeah, this is all stuff that you can pass down to your kids.
Right.
Even if it's stuff that's not worth a ton of money. This is just cool stuff, man.
So growing up, you lived in Alabama, so I have a guess, but what team did you follow?
It was the Braves.
Right?
Yeah, it was definitely the Braves. Every game was on TBS, so it was like, yeah. And if we were to go to a game, we drive up to Atlanta and go. We probably only did
Yeah.
that 4 or 5 times in my
That's
childhood, but
mhm.
yeah, did I remember them? And that Braves team, they were so much fun back then. That was the middle of
Oh,
that. It
yeah.
was after the World Series, but it was that whole stretch of where they won the division, 20 years in a
Right.
row or whatever. And it was Chipper and Andrew Jones
Oh,
and
yeah. Yeah.
Ryan Klesko and Javi Lopez and Maddox and Glavine and Smoltz and uh, even some of the Julio Franco and
Oh,
all
yeah.
these guys, dude. And then like I would say like the early days of Freddie Freeman. That's kind of when I
Mhm.
stopped for a while, and then I picked it back up in like 2021.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, that was a fun time to be a Braves fan because you could just
Julio Franco, man, dude was
yeah
always 50, but
yeah
all could always play,
he
it
was
was crazy.
he was the oldest player in Major League Baseball to hit a home run. I think he hit a home
Yeah.
run when he was
Oh,
like
yeah.
47 or something crazy.
No,
So
the
yeah,
town I grew up in, Conyers, Georgia, Ryan Kolesko lived there, and I
oh
remember
cool.
when he first moved there, he had, like, a yellow Hummer and a red Hummer, and, like, it was just a normal town, nobody with a crazy amount of money or anything, and when you saw that as a kid, you're like, "Oh, man,
You go, what
that's
does
what"
that guy do? Yeah.
yeah, that's what making it means, you know?
That's still what it means to me.
Right, right.
Really? Yeah, those things take some gas.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, just the gas cost for that,
That
so
was that original Hummer that was like so
yeah.
big.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I remember when those came out. You hadn't quite seen something like that
Right,
Right.
on back. I'm sure you saw. They look like the. I'm sure you're in cars like that with the army,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
but just on like a road, you're like,
Right.
what is that, dude?
The thing is the Army ones never ran, like, they were always messed up.
Really?
Yeah. So, like, we would drive those on the bases and on missions some, but for a lot of my time, I was in a striker unit. So we had this kinda cool, um it had almost the power of, like, a tank, but it had the speed of a Humvee, so it was pretty cool that it, could go, like, 65, but, have that kinda armor on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
So
man,
That'd
that
be
is
cool.
awesome.
but I remember when I was in Iraq one time, I was talking to my son about it the other day because he's 18, he just got called for jury duty. And the only time I've ever been called for jury duty was on a deployment in Iraq. So I tried to go, but they wouldn't let me. I was like, no, I'm in. Like, I want to do my civic duty. Like,
yeah, you go, I'd love to be there, but I am preoccupied right now.
but we had a Humvee when we were on the base, and they had just opened a Pizza Hut on the base. And dude, I'm a pizza guy, so I was like so excited, man. Like if I didn't have pizza, like I would have like 5% body fat, but pizza's what messes that up for me. And the thing is, I'm so pumped. You know, I'm there for a few months. They have a sign, Pizza Hut coming soon, Pizza Hut coming soon. So we finally get out there, and I end up I'm going, but I was going a little fast in the Humvee, so an MP gives me a ticket, and I was like, I'm going on missions every single day and having to fight people. Like, if you give me a ticket, like just arrest me, like probably somewhere safer, you know, like, and then I'm sitting there because I'm like, Pizza Hut's opening today, man. I got to move. So then I just go the same speed, and he gives me another ticket, and I'm like, dude,
Oh my God.
arrest me or escort me to Pizza Hut because we're making this happen right now. And dude, I'm a good probably 2-3 football fields away, and a mortar hits the Pizza Hut on opening day, and I never got Pizza Hut the whole time on that deployment.
Wow.
Dude, it broke my heart. Like, nobody got hurt. You know, I checked that first, but then afterward, I was so hurt because the only thing I was excited about, like my whole deployment, was that Pizza Hut.
Jeez.
Man, but you'd have been in there if you hadn't got pulled over.
Yeah.
Huh?
So, I mean, hey, look at that.
I didn't even think about that. I was
Yeah.
like, dang,
Yeah.
pizza would have been good.
You're talking about like a God moment I wasn't even thinking about, man.
I wasn't either. I was like, man, that sucks.
It's 20
I
years
thought
later.
that was the point of the story.
No, but that made it the point. Like, you just, dude,
I was thinking about that dang salad bar that you used to have. I'm like, man, that salad bar's gone.
dude, 20 years later, like, I found out why. Like,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah,
you, man.
Honestly,
yeah.
if you were here for any reason, Aaron,
Right.
that was it. If you've ever questioned your ministry, that was it right there.
So, all right. So, you're a Braves fan in the early 2000s, late 90s, and everything.
Yeah.
So, who's the favorite player?
I mean, Chipper was everybody's favorite. You liked other guys for different reasons, but Chipper was the full package. Everybody liked him. Everybody fought over the number 10 growing up, in whatever sport you're at, just because of him. So he was the guy, dude.
Oh yeah. Now, who's the favorite player that isn't the big name like that? The guy that you just love to watch, probably a grinder that that was that type of guy. That's probably nobody's number one player.
Well, it was John Rocker for a while.
Yeah. You can only have him for a while.
Yeah. John, I used to love watching him run out of the bullpen. You know.
Yeah, that was intense.
There's a guy. Hold on. I have it somewhere because I have a card of did I put it? So I wrote when I was young. This was the age of, you know, you'd write letters to players on the team.
Yeah.
And I wrote to almost everybody, but I wrote to a guy named Robert Fick.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Who was on the Braves.
Right.
He's kind of a nothing role player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I wrote this letter to him, and he wrote back. His wife wrote back on his behalf, a long letter, handwritten letter, and gave me like 5 or 6 autographed cards, and I still have.
Oh, that's great.
That's cool
for this. So you know, like that'll just make a kid a fan for life.
Oh yeah,
somebody right. Because, you know, you'd write to Chipper and Andrew and all these, and they're getting millions of letters or whatever. But this guy who's just on the roster. Right. I probably lied to him and was like, I'm your biggest fan. I'm just writing to all of them. You're my favorite player, you know, all this stuff. But
he probably saved the letter too because it's the only one he ever got.
Right. Maybe 2 or 3.
This kid and my mom I'm their favorite player.
But I still have that. So that's I still think about him as like a guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll be a fan of that guy forever.
So my wife was a big fan of Andrew Jones, I liked Andrew Jones too. I had when I was a kid a sports card show. He just put up his hand for me to throw him a ball, and I'm like, dude, this is the most important throw of my life. Because I'm throwing it at Andrew
Mhm.
Jones, and I threw him a good throw, but then I thought, oh crap, I got to catch it when he throws it back.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
he tossed it easy, but it was still terrifying. And he signed it for me and threw it back to me, so that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But my surprise pick is Rafael Belliard.
Oh,
Dude, I loved him for his defense. Like, couldn't hit a lick, but
yeah.
like his defense was incredible. And I remember when he hit his second major league home run, the Atlanta Journal put out an ad, and he's only 753 away from Aaron.
Yeah.
Like, but I still have that article. Like, I thought that
Oh,
was
that's
pretty
cool.
funny. So,
Yeah.
so some baseball memories. Do you have any like just fun baseball memories from when you were playing,
I mean,
or
I have a that's when all my kind of childhood memories were
yeah?
through the lens of sports in some way. We had a ballpark right up the street from our house. That's where all of us played from T-ball to high school age.
Mhm.
We were
Yeah.
just there all the time. So that's everything. Even when we didn't have games, you go up there and you pick up game going, or you
Oh yeah,
play wall ball on the side of
wall
the
ball.
concession
Dude,
stand or something.
we played so much wall ball.
Wall ball is the best, dude. So that was my childhood. That's what it was.
Yeah,
It was
no, that's
everything.
awesome.
Hmm.
So we lived out, next to a highway, and what happened was our first time playing in the yard, we hit a car. So after that, grandma was like, "Hey, nobody's allowed to hit anymore." So when we all got like high school and stuff, we were great pitchers and great defenders, but none of us could hit. Because we haven't been able to hit since we hit that car.
That's very funny. Yeah, yeah. Well, some of these kids now that just got like a batting cage in their backyard and all
Oh
this
yeah.
stuff. I definitely didn't have that.
No, well, I think too, a lot of times, like, um, parents just, man, I was so close to being able to make it when all reality they probably weren't,
Oh, yeah,
but
of
they
course.
felt like they were,
No.
and so they're going to invest crazy amount of money in their kid
Right.
doing it.
Right.
And what I see a lot of times is, people like Austin who work in mental health, it offers them patience because these kids are so mad at their dad for pushing them so much into baseball. So it's like you got to have that balance.
Right.
So you're a newer dad. So what for anybody that's having a baby anytime soon, what's just a couple dad tips you got?
Oh man, I feel like I'm still early in the thing. I feel silly giving advice. What I'll say is like, don't if you got in-laws, if you got family around, like take the help.
Right.
Take the help. And it's not even if it's doing simple things. Like I remember early on, like it's easier now, but early on it's like I need somebody to just hold this baby while I do the dishes. Like it's simple
Right.
stuff like that. So like don't be afraid to tap into the support system that you've built. That's what I tell people. Like we were in a good position. Our parents, my wife and our parents are older than most, first time parents
Mhm.
are. So my in-laws are both retired and my mom's retired. So I'll be like, we'll all my siblings will book my mom like she's a service. We go, I got her for
Right.
this week. I got her for this week. And we'll just fly her out and just have her here for a week or two.
That's awesome. So you have like a
So
shared family calendar, like where
yeah,
mom's
she's like a timeshare. It's
right.
crazy. But
That's how
it's
my kids are with like Life 360. Because I've got 4 kids, and they'll be like, "Hey, you're over here," or they'll just show up at a restaurant if my wife and I are eating, just so they can get the food, because all of them but one are driving now, and
wow.
that Life 360 is a problem
Yeah. Oh,
because
I believe it.
yeah, like yesterday I got wings, and my wife and I were just gonna have wings and just have a little dinner ourselves. And then all 3 boys are like, "Hey, Dad, will you pick us up some wings too?"
Yeah.
So it went from like 20 wings to 50, and I'm like,
Right. Yeah, you got to turn your phone off and then go out to eat
Right.
Right.
at a certain age.
Airplane mode. That's why it was created. Just put it on airplane mode.
Exactly.
But that's awesome because man, I bet you that does so much for your mom, like being able to see grandkids
Oh,
and
she loves
being
it.
able to do that.
She loves it. Yeah, they're full-time grandparents now, essentially. So we're both very lucky, and we definitely take advantage of their willingness to come help. So I would say
Right.
don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to do it. You know, like this idea that you have to do everything your little immediate family, that's a very
Mhm.
new idea. Like
Right.
we used to all grow up in villages together and stuff. So
Mhm.
it's like
Yeah.
don't be afraid to branch out.
No, I think that's really good advice because I think a lot of times, people either A, have trouble asking people for help, or B, maybe there's some things in their upbringing that they're like, oh, I thought mom was too strict on this or dad was like
Mm-hmm.
this on this, and I want to raise my kids different. And I'm like, I mean, there's reasons usually that they did that. Like, of course, if you're coming from a good family, like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, things that you didn't understand younger, I'm sure you're understanding a lot more now. So,
Yes. Oh, totally. You understand so much like immediately. You know. Um so yeah, I'm really grateful for them. My dad's still working, so my dad doesn't get to come up here as much, but like we got a few stretches in the next month where my mom's coming for a week. And then especially cuz I work on the road. So I'm
right,
gone. I'm gone a lot. So I'm aware of that. So
right,
I got to like when I'm here, I got to be here.
hmm
So yeah, any other help I can get from the family,
right,
I will take. I will humble myself before other people and go,
right.
yeah, come
No,
come hang
and
out with us, man.
yeah, and
Hmm.
I really appreciate you even coming on because man, I know how
Yeah.
busy it is for you and
No, I
lots
appreciate
of
it, guys.
people.
Thank y'all for having me. I don't mind at all.
And you only got 30 more minutes to eat, really, if you're doing your 12 to 4.
Right,
You need to go.
Look, that 4 hours, it's whenever I start, and then I got 4 hours,
right.
and then
Yeah.
so I'm not as strict about 12 to
Well, I want to do one last thing before we
Okay.
just kind of find out where you're going and where people can follow you. Austin's going to do a blind ranking with
Oh,
you
yeah.
real quick.
Okay.
I
I
feel
love
like
it.
this could be fun. We're talking early 2000s players, and just go ahead and give him a number as he gives you the name.
Okay.
One
Perfect.
through five.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Here's first. Ken Griffey Jr.
I'm gonna put Griffey at 2 just because I'm holding out for somebody who I think is gonna be number 1. I'm gonna put Griffey at
Okay.
2. An all-time
Okay.
great, almost unanimous Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Yeah, put him at 2.
Okay.
Yeah, him and Ozzie Smith were my favorite non-Braves growing up.
I mean, I don't who didn't like Griffey.
Right.
He was the coolest player. He was the best. Dude. I'll put him at 2.
Was he your favorite non-Brave or who was?
Has to be.
Yeah.
No, well, wait, no. My favorite was who I think is probably on this list too. I'll hold out to
Okay.
mention him.
We'll save it.
We'll save it. We'll
Okay.
save it. All right. Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter. I put Derek Jeter at 4.
Dude, I can't like that more
Yeah.
just because I think Derek Jeter is an incredible hitter, right?
Yeah.
Incredible as a captain of a team.
And leader and a winner.
Yeah.
Yes.
But dude had no range. Like if you actually look at his range metrics, it's one of
Uh-huh.
the worst in baseball of anybody in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't
like
know
like
that.
he was great for 2 feet either direction, but like he never moved 3 feet. So
Right. And he had some kind of crazy cool looking plays.
right.
And
Oh
we
yeah.
remember that. I remember the flip play and I
Yeah, the
remember all of
flip.
that. He had the X factor, whatever that is, but I don't know. If he were a Devil Ray instead of a Yankee, I don't know if we'd be
Right.
talking about him the same way.
I agree.
All right. Next. Randy Johnson.
Randy I'll put Randy Johnson at 3. Randy Johnson, most dominant pitcher of my life for sure. Freak of nature. I mean,
Right.
like 7
Right.
feet tall and Yeah, killed a bird. I mean, yeah, I'll put him at 3.
Austin didn't know who he was. I'm like, the dude that killed the bird.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
what? Yeah. He's a photographer now. Like,
I
if you
know,
look,
and Griffey is too.
yeah, Griffey.
Yeah. I think Chipper Jones.
Oh man. Okay, unfortunately, I have to put Chipper at 5 now.
Oh.
I want to put him because I'm still the number 1 is such a tough spot to.
But you
Yeah,
got to remember, Aaron, you put him at 5, dude. But I told you that we have a wild card in here.
Okay.
We haven't got to him yet. So
Okay, wait.
Here
Okay.
it is. Sidney Ponson.
And
1.
ladies and
And
gentlemen,
that's your number 1.
Aaron's number 1.
I thought for sure Barry Bonds was coming. If
I
Griffey
had
number
him
2.
on the list, and I
Yeah.
traded him for Sydney.
Okay, all right.
Just to throw you off. I
That's
literally
very funny.
Googled who the worst players of the early 2000s were, and it was him and Chris Davis.
Oh, really?
Because Chris Davis had that like one really, really good season,
Sure.
and then signed a huge contract, and
it was a bust
you know,
after that.
what was a bust.
Yeah, well, he's my number one of all.
So I'm gonna try to tag him and share this. Can you just give me a little clip real quick saying that he's your favorite player now? Your number 1 player.
Sydney, you are the greatest player of my era. You bested Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, Derek Jeter, and Chipper Jones. And I think you can dig into the numbers and you can make an argument for any of those guys, but I'm working off something different. I'm working off gut feeling. I'm working off grit. I'm working off spirit. And Sydney, you're my number 1.
That's good. That was good.
I love it, man. Well done. Look, Sydney's another one of those guys that got 2 kids to write him or something. And he's gonna record. No, he was somebody who was like actually really talented, but it just never all came together. Like,
yeah, of course. Any of these guys, anyone who makes it to the major leagues is in the top 1% of 1% of people to ever play baseball. Just in comparison to these other guys you mentioned.
Right.
It's very funny.
Now, if you are much of a reader as a Braves fan, one book that I've read is by Otis Nixon, and it's called The Catch. I encourage it as a really like just uncomfortable book to read, but not a good read. So if you just want something that will kind of surprise you as you're reading it, check out The Catch by Otis Nixon.
Okay. All right.
He's the only Brave player I know of that actually wrote his own book.
Yeah.
And you can tell.
He's written a few books, apparently. I'm looking. He's got a book called Keeping It Real.
Yeah, the Keeping It Real is like The Catch also.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like he goes by both titles, I think, to up his sell.
Okay. All right, cool.
But there's some interesting things on there that if one day you read that, I think you're gonna be well pleased.
All right. I'm into it.
But man, we appreciate you, and thank you so much for taking the time to come on.
Yeah, dude. Thank you all. Thanks for. I know it's been kind of whatever getting this scheduled. I appreciate y'all. I'm glad this worked out, dude. It was great to talk to you two guys, and I don't know. We'll do it again. Keep in touch with me. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let people know real quick where to find you, and maybe if you got a couple things coming up. This will come out next Monday. So if you got coming up after that.
Yeah, AaronWeberComedy.com is all my tour dates. I'm pretty busy from here to the rest of the year. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia on October 5th at a new club, the Helium Comedy Club there. It's in Alpharetta. It's north of the city, but Atlanta October 5th, and then Huntsville, Alabama the weekend after that, and then Charleston the weekend after that, and then just I'm all over. So AaronWeberComedy.com's got all my stuff on there. You can check that out.
Man, I'll try to either check out that Atlanta or Huntsville show because I like going to both those areas.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, they'll be fun. Let me know.
But hey, we appreciate it, and we'll try to catch up sometime. If you're back in Chattanooga area, we'll take you on a hike or something, man.
Oh, perfect. Sounds good, man. Thanks, guys.
All right,
good
appreciate
talking to
it.
y'all.
Go
Take
on.
it easy.